Hey guys, Kenny here. I'm here to review the 1988 romantic sports baseball movie, Bull Durham. I love this so much. This has to do with, this stars Kevin Costner, Susan Sarandon, Tim Robbins, Trey Wilson, and Robert Wool. Let's see, and the main plot has to do with Ebby Calvin LaLoosh, played by Tim Robbins, and he's this rookie pitcher who, at the start of the Durham Bowl season, that's the team he plays for, they start losing some games at the start, and Crash Davis, played by Kevin Costner, is brought in to coach him on his throwing and give him some tips about being in the show. And Crash is there to coach him on his throwing, because Nuke tends to throw over the home plate into the press box. He throws the ball at the guy in the mascot outfit. He throws it at a batter's back. He throws it into the dugout, and he throws it at the baseball bats. And there's this girl, young woman, Annie Savoy, played by Susan Sarandon, who kind of who has a relationship with one particular player at the start of each season, and she picks Nuke LaLoosh for her to be with. She even also gives him some pointers about throwing, and tells him theories on really life, and her theories on life. And because of that, and she gives him garters to wear, and because of her pointers and Crash's pointers, Nuke, Crash, and the rest of the Durham Bulls end up having a winning streak. And since Nuke hasn't been with Annie for quite a while, she ends up getting quite furious. And one day, when Crash and Nuke are riding on the bus, Crash is telling him these cliches and if any of you have seen Bull Durham, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then Crash asks Nuke, how is Annie? That she's pretty steamed about him not being with her. So Nuke ends up saying that maybe I would just give in and sleep with her. And Crash says, don't fuck with a winning streak, or never fuck with a winning streak. So then when Nuke and the rest of the team get back to Durham, North Carolina, and Nuke is kind of tempted by Annie to give in and sleep with her, but Nuke tries his damnedest to not give in, and he does. So he walks out of the house, and because of what Nuke was saying, that Crash was telling him to try and avoid being with her, that gets her even more furious. So she has this kind of argument with Crash about it. And then there's this one night when Duke is called on a phone, I think at Annie's house, and he's going to the show. So he goes and tells Crashed it at this little pool bar where Crash is playing a game of pool. And Crash isn't exactly all that excited for Nuke, because he knows that Crash has like $1 million arm, but he's pissing it away. So Nuke goes to the majors, and Crash is let go from the Durham Bulls. And then there's this other team, something called Tourists, that calls him in, and he hits his final home run, and then he retires from baseball. He had like 240 something or 40 something home runs by the time he got to the Durham Bulls. So after he quit, he goes to be with Annie, and they start being with each other since Nuke is often playing in the majors, playing in the show. Yeah, that's basically the plot. One great moment that happens is when Nuke goes into the locker room, and he's asked if Annie is all that she's said to be, and Nuke says, "No, man, we didn't fuck." Crash notices there's fungus on his shower shoes, so he has this speech where he says, "Your shower shoes have fungus on them. If you if you win 20 in the show, you can let the fungus go back on your shower shoes, and the press will think you're colorful. If you don't win 20 in the show, however, it means you're a slob." And then the scene when Nuke and Crash are on the bus, and Crash tells Nuke about the cliches. That's a famous moment. And then when the three of them, Crash, Nuke, and Annie, are sitting in her house, and then Crash is about to leave, there's this very famous speech that he says to Annie about what he believes in. And if any of you have seen this, you also know what that speech is. I don't need to go into that. So I can't say enough good things about this. It has heart, soul, comedy, romance, a lot of baseball, hitting, throwing, action, although favorite pastime that we know and love. So I highly recommend this. If you haven't already, I would highly appreciate it if you would subscribe over here if you're watching the video by itself, or subscribe down here if you're watching the video on my channel. This is the movie that Susan Sarandon and Tim Robbins met on, and then they got married shortly after it, and now I think they either split or divorced last December, which is cool. A little makes me feel sad, but at least we got this classic from them. So another great moment is when Crash makes a baseball field wet by turning on the sprinklers. So that's all I have to say about it. I can't think of anything else, so I highly recommend this.